Yo, what is going on, y'all? It's your boy HD MMA back at it again with another video. Now, I want to get this out of the way. I know I was gonna say, I know I said, excuse my language. I know I said I was gonna see y'all in 2026. I know I said that on my last video I uploaded on this channel, which got no fucking views, by the way. Appreciate y'all. I just want to say, thank y'all for that support. I'm just kidding. I'm just kidding. But now I know I want to fucking uh get that out of the way. I know I was gonna see y'all and said now I said I was gonna see y'all in 2026, but I just had to say something about this. I just had to. Okay, we got Chase Demoor defeating Andrew Tate in Misfits Boxing. Bruv. In Misfits fucking boxing, bruv. We got Chase Demoor defeating Andrew Tate. I didn't watch this fight live. I caught the replay of it on another site. If you know, you know. But yeah, let's just get that out of the way. This was a complete fucking travesty. A complete fucking shit show abomination of a boxing fight. And it just fucking amazes me as an MMA fan, watching, like, considering how the fucking like downfall of boxing, just the absolute fucking plummet of boxing that has occurred in these past like what 5 years, 4 or 5 years, when the influencer boxing started and shit, like what 7 years ago, probably at most, is when like the influencer boxing kind of started. Or maybe was it 10 years ago? Maybe I'm just forgetting and shit. But considering the absolute downfall of boxing, as like an MMA fan, I'm not a boxing fan. I pretty much just watch like the big fights when I can, if I catch them. But just trying to like contemplate and like put it into my brain how much this fucking sport has just degraded into a fucking micron, a fucking proton, an atom of what it was, is just insane. But yeah, this was a shit fight. We all know, we all saw it. It was a complete travesty of a fight. Just absolute, just fucking embarrassment from on both sides, I believe. Or I think, because Chase Demoor, I'm gonna scroll through some of these pictures. You know, we got Tate busted up and shit. Chase Demoor, he is extremely shit at boxing. He's fought no one but cans. They said he's the fucking champion of division, which I just learned today. I just learned that Chase Demoor was the champion of the Misfits boxing heavyweight division today. Like, as I was watching this fight, I learned that he was the champion. But he's fought absolute fucking cans. I think anybody who's any decent at boxing fucking schools his ass and beats him. So his level of fighting is fucking just subpar in terms of boxing, is just unbelievable. And for a guy like Tate to lose to him, who I thought before this fight, going into that, I thought Tate would win, being the having the record that he has, having the amount of experience he has in professional fighting, which I'm going to dive into later in this video, to try and gain some knowledge on that and kind of expose that record that he has, which I think is very questionable, to say the least. But yeah, basically for the whole fight, the first 2 rounds, round 1 and 2, Tate, he was in there. He was very stationary, extremely, like, had his hands down. He always has his hands down, but extremely stationary, not really throwing a lot of volume. He would blitz at Chase here and there, I think he did like one blitz and a couple blitzes in round two. One blitz in round one, couple blitzes in round two, but he was extremely stationary. He was using the jab. He was trying to land to the body of Chase a lot in this fight, which is fucking crazy to me that Andrew was going to the body, and then in the later rounds he was the one that was fucking gassing out, which I think that goes to show how much activity matters in a fight. Not like fighting a shit ton of times in like a year or that, but just being in the ring and actively fighting, how much that contributes to your cardio when you're in there. Because Tate, by round fucking 3, Tate was like slowing down dramatically and was just looking gassed, and by round 4 he was just fucking stumbling all over the place, out on his feet, no footwork, no technique in any of his punches, no power in any of his punches, no speed or anything like that, anything that makes you dangerous. He was just completely sapped by like round 4. In the last 2 rounds he was just trying to stay alive and stay afloat and not get fucking not fucking go out like fucking a Shamil Gaziev for my MMA guys. You know. But yeah, this was just a complete shit show from Andrew Tate. And I thought about this and I was like, why does fucking Tate look so fucking shit? And I remembered on YouTube, Tate has a lot of footage of him sparring. And when you look at the footage of him sparring, he spars very hard, usually. In all of his like sparring footage, you can look at him fighting Olympic level boxers. I remember one video, there was like a video of him that was titled like Tate spars Olympic level boxers or some shit like that. Then I looked the guys up and I never fucking heard of them in my life, but yeah, Tate, he spars very hard, and there's not a lot of footage of him doing like drills or anything like that. There's footage of him hitting like mitts and shit like that, but like doing drills and anything like that, you can't I haven't seen any of that. I'm not gonna say you can't find it, but I just haven't seen any of that. But Tate spars very hard, and it clicked in me in my brain. Tate has a style that's only good in sparring. Like he has an annoying to spar style, and if the guys who train and the guys who have sparred before in boxing or anything like that, you know, like the kind of style I'm talking about, where they're very stationary and they throw, and they're very kind of on the back foot, and they throw, they're very inactive and try and like poke at you. That kind of style, that's the style that Tate has in this fight, in his when he fights, and in this fight, which is it's good in sparring, but when you're in an actual fight, it doesn't fucking work out. Tate reminded me of a lot of Grant Dawson when Grant Dawson fought Manuel Torres like just this past month. If you guys watched that fight, it reminded me a lot of that fight where Dawson and Tate, they were both like ducking to their right a lot, and they were very like kind of on the back foot and very like pokey and proddy with it, and like just kind of trying to avoid, like kind of like violently avoiding any counter shots from their opponents. And they both were kind of beaten by their opponents in a similar way, where Manuel Torres just kind of stayed on Dawson and didn't get backed up, and then he was able to land that kill shot on Dawson. And then in this fight, Chase Demoor just kind of putting the pressure on Tate and landing that rear uppercut, that fucking shitty ass, overloaded ass, just telegraphed ass rear uppercut that he was rocking Tate with. I think he rocked Tate with it in the 3rd or 4th round, I believe. And he was landing that pretty much the entire later half of the fight. he was landing that on Tate, and he was also missing it fucking. He was missing the fuck out of it in the later rounds, but um, just kind of like that, a very a sparring only kind of style that Tate had. My fucking dog, hold on. All right. Yeah, what was I saying? That very like good and sparring style that Tate has. And unfortunately that's just not what you want to do in a fight. But I want to transition to something else that I was shaking my not shaking fucking thinking in my own brain, in my own noggin. Um you know how, like, Andrew Tate, he and I'm not like an Andrew Tate hater or anything. I'm not like, I don't hate Andrew Tate. I'm not gonna say I agree with some of his takes or disagree. I'm just gonna leave that to the judges, as we say in the fight game. But I don't hate Andrew Tate. I don't think he's a bad person or whatever, or just have a negative bias towards him. But I'm just critiquing his performance and what he did later or earlier tonight. But I was fucking rattling fucking what's the fucking phrase I'm thinking of? Fucking racking my brain. I was racking my brain about Andrew Tate's kickboxing record, and I decided to look it up, and I have it here for y'all. Andrew Tate, his kickboxing record, it says he has fucking 76 wins, 9 losses, and 1 draw. And then I went to, let me move that shit out the way. When I went to actually look at the record and look at the names he's fought and beaten against, first off, he went 0-2 in his first 2 fights in IKF and shit like that, in some shit promotion. Then he goes on like this win streak. Yeah, he beats Lee Whitfield, Ollie Green, Mo Cram, whatever the fuck this guy's name is, Cragbo, Paul Randall, just these no-name fuckers. Like half these, only like 4 of these guys have like a Wikipedia page dedicated to themselves. So he beats a shit ton of no-name motherfuckers he has a bunch of no-names in his record, which is it's kickboxing. They're not really a big sport or that big of a combat sport. And they're pretty fucking under the radar. So, but he has no names in any of his record, and he's basically fought fucking no one in like very low level no name promotions. In Fusion, he has like, I think he has 1K1 fight that he won. Fucking good for him. Lost to a French dude. The fuck. Just very low level competition in very no name organizations. The only name he really has on his record is Luke Barnett in the fucking amateurs, which is and he was what fucking, I don't know what Luke Barnett's record was this when they fought each other. But yeah, very low level competition that he's fought practically his entire career. This is like, I think this was these are 32 fights listed on here. They don't even have his whole record on Wikipedia, but this is a large chunk of his career, and he's fought pretty much no names in very low level promotions. So that calls into question, he's not really that good of a kickboxer either. And in MMA, my MMA guys know this. In kickboxers, when these kickboxers go like cross over into MMA, Usually their weakness is they have very shitty boxing. Kickboxing isn't boxing, and usually when these kickboxing guys lose, if they're not losing to grappling, they're losing to in like boxing exchanges, which is that's a downside to most like kickboxers in the UFC. And if you extrapolate that to this fight, in a boxing fight, Andrew Tate's a kickboxer, and he's not a very good kickboxer. And the kickboxers I'm talking about in the UFC, they're like extremely high level championship kickboxers, and their biggest weakness is boxing and boxing defense. If you extrapolate this to this fight, that's fucking Tate's that was Tate's like biggest weakness, apart from him like, besides him like gassing out and not having any energy. That was his biggest like weakness, was his boxing defense and his boxing in general. He was getting like outboxed kind of mostly in this fight. That was most of that was due to the cardio, but in the early rounds, Chase was landing some they were going like tit for tat. It wasn't like it wasn't like Andrew was just dominating, piecing up Chase in the early rounds and then he gassed out. It was pretty much fucking very tit for tat. Andrew was like up by, I would say, like a couple strikes in the earlier rounds. So yeah, basically fucking Andrew Tate's basically a fucking fraud when it comes to professional fighting. And yeah, this was a shit performance. I felt it felt like a waste of time to watch this, honestly. And a huge fucking just Andrew Tate's Andrew Tate's aura just went fucking here and fucking, it was like that fucking it's like the fucking meme where you get that negative 30 million social credit score meme. It was like that. This was the fight for Andrew Tate. Just fucking huge loss in like credibility, and pretty much anything he says, anything he tweets is gonna be fucking memed by like Chase landing a fucking uppercut on him, and that and the freeze frame of him and Chase kissing in the clinch. I saw that on a thumbnail on YouTube where in the moment, I don't know what round it was, but in a moment in the fight when they were clinching, him and Chase like kissed for like a split second. And that's gonna be in his fucking Twitter comments whenever he makes a tweet or posts on. Is he on Instagram? I don't know if he's on Instagram or if he's still on. But anytime he does anything online, that's gonna be in his fucking comments. And people are just never gonna take what he fucking says seriously anymore. If I'm Andrew Tate, I'm asking for I'm immediately trying to get a rematch to on Chase Demoor to get this shit back and get my aura back. But until then, Top G just got turned into fucking Top L in this bitch. Got turned into Top B, top bottom in this bitch. So yeah. A little bit of a different video for you guys. Hope you guys like it. I don't know if I'm gonna do this for any other boxing fights. I saw I know I tried to watch Jake Paul versus Anthony Joshua. I thought that fight was kind of shit. Anthony, he shouldn't have let it go that many rounds. You are a former champion in boxing. You're a heavyweight. The guy's barely even a fucking cruiserweight, not even a cruiserweight. You're letting it get to a 6th round. Yeah, that was a huge embarrassment for boxing as well. Although I want to bring this up, my main man, Big Tone. Even though this was a fucking detrimental night if you were an Andrew Tate fan. If you were a Tony Ferguson fan like myself, Big Tone getting the fucking big TKO win over this motherfucker. I don't know what the fuck this was, but who the fuck this was. But Big Tone getting that TKO win. might have healed me. It filled my fucking soul with happiness seeing Big Tone on a win streak. Not only he on a win streak in the big 2025. We were getting Big Tone on a win streak in 2025 at the end. Um, at least we got that. But yeah, I just wanted to say something about that as a Tony Ferguson fan. I fucking it warms my heart. It fills me with ecstasy, with excitement to see my boy Big Tone getting a big win in 2025. Yeah, I feel great about that. But yeah, that was my recap, my reaction, my breakdown to Andrew Tate and Chase Demoor. If you're Andrew Tate, book the rematch immediately, or do some try and do something to get your aura back. And yeah, hope you guys enjoyed the video. I'll try and watch that Rising card. I know there's a Rising card on New Year's Eve that's happening. I want to watch that and give a recap to y'all for that, cuz we're in an MMA drought, and I want to watch some fighting. I do want to watch some fighting. But yeah, I hope you guys have a great night. You guys have a great weekend. And yeah, I'll see you guys later. Peace.